Hello, I'm Ken Robinson, and this is one of my video responses to questions I've been sent on Twitter. What are your thoughts on home education and how that model can be applied to schools? I have to say I'm a fan of homeschooling. About 5%, I believe, of young people in the US are homeschooled, and I can see immediately the attraction of homeschooling and its counterpart, which is in some ways a more radical approach, which is often called unschooling. The advantages and the attractions are, of course, that parents and their children can devise their own curricula. They can have a completely flexible approach to timing. They can have their own approaches to assessment. They can move at their own pace according to the interests and learning styles of each individual child. And they can mould and shape the curriculum around the emerging interests of the children going through the homeschooling programme. It's not an easy option. I think it's important to say that all the people I know who are involved in homeschooling, who are doing it well, devote a huge amount of time to it. They take it very seriously, they approach it rigorously. There are resources available to people who are committed to homeschooling. There are some great websites, some great associations, and the challenge, of course, is to provide a broadly based education which uses the expertise and skills of the students and the people doing the homeschooling, but brings in other talents and resources beyond that immediate group as well. And the internet, of course, makes that more and more possible. Whether you do homeschool, of course, is a very personal choice, but which school you send your children to is also a very personal choice. It's still a minority of children, as I say, it's about 5% who go through a homeschooling program. The big challenge remains to transform public education, which for all kinds of reasons will continue for a long time, I'm sure, to be the mode of education for the great majority of young people. Some people can't countenance homeschooling. Their economic circumstances don't allow it. They may not feel equipped through their own background to tackle some of the challenges of homeschooling, or their domestic situation may not allow for it. For the vast majority of children, say, public school will be the option, the route. What I'm interested in is to encourage a conversation between these two sectors so they can learn from each other and apply their best principles. This particular question asks whether the model of homeschooling can apply to public schools. In my experience, there isn't a single model. There are multiple approaches, and it's the principles that I think may be helpful to inform what happens in other settings apart from homeschooling. Those principles are to do with personalised learning, they're to do with flexibility of time, and they're to do with the need to apply pedagogies, methods of teaching, which are sensitive to different learning styles to each child or student in the group. The best public schools do that, by the way. They try to apply those principles as well. What all this points to me, is a key principle for the future of education as a whole, which is diversity. Diversity of provision and diversity of teaching style and diversity of curricula. And those principles stand at the moment in contrast to the ones that have dominated public education, which are standardisation and conformity. So I think there's an opportunity here for a much more open conversation about how multiple approaches to education in the home or in school can help to inform and benefit each other.